Now, we all know Donald doesn't really like to read and, well, really likes to write mostly in caps, but there's a new literary release that has caught his attention, and it's not because it's the pick of the month in his second term cabinet's book club. No, today marks the release of Michael Wolff's new tell all book, All or Nothing: How Trump Recaptured America, by Michael Wolff, who goes all in on his tales of Trump in the eye-opening tome released today. Man, do we have some incredible interview excerpts for you coming up in just a second. It's an informative and revealing exchange between Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein, of all dead people, about dear old Donald and his ways of doing his business. The curiously departed Epstein, whose guest list to his island getaway is probably being edited for a good de-Trumping, maybe by Attorney General Pam Bondi as we speak. Well, Epstein speaks from the great beyond in an interview with Michael Wolff coming up about the great character of your sitting president. So, will All or Nothing: How Trump Recaptured America knock Mein Kampf off the Trump Presidential Library's recommended reading list? Probably not. More than likely, it'll end up alongside of Mice and Men in the MAGA book-burning queue.
Let's go, Brandon!
Now, the interview clips that we have of Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein, they're amazing. They come in anticipation of Wolff's book coming out today. And its release has Trump throwing, call them posts of fury in response. Let's check out Trump's Truth Social post, then buckle up for the sensational audio interview that's going to shed some light on the dark soul of your reigning POTUS. The king ain't happy because 2 days ago he posted this in advance of the book's release. So-called author Michael Wolff's new book is a total fake job, just like the other junk he wrote. He called me many times trying to set up a meeting, but I never called him back because I didn't want to give him the credibility of an interview. Others in the administration were also called. They reported his calls and likewise did not want to talk to him. I assume, however, he was able to speak to a small number of people, but not meaningfully. His other books about me have been discredited, as this one will be also. I'm one who believes in commenting about fake news or made-up stories, even if you have to punch low, and shouldn't be wasting the time required to do so. We had one of the greatest elections in history, and perhaps the greatest first month ever, according to almost everybody. But Wolff doesn't want to talk about that. He mentions the people that surrounded me during the election, and in many cases now in derogatory terms. But they couldn't have been that bad, because I'm here in the White House refusing to take his calls. Wolff says he has sources, but he doesn't have them. It's a lie, as is the case with so many so-called journalists. If he has sources, let them be revealed. Watch, it will never happen. He is fake news and a total loser, and no one should waste their time or money in buying this boring and obviously fictitious book. Now, mind you, in the last book that Wolff wrote about Trump, that was back in January 2018, Trump sent a cease and desist letter to Wolff and the publisher demanding they not release Wolff's book, Fire and Fury. The next day, the book went on sale, and Trump never sued. I'm predicting a bestseller here, folks. This book, covers Trump from leaving office in 2021 up to the 2024 election. In it, Wolff skillfully explains how Trump, a man who might seem to have among the highest luck percentages ever recorded, survived 2 assassination attempts, 4 criminal indictments, and a plethora of civil lawsuits to rocket back into the Oval Office. Now, Wolff conducted numerous interviews in writing this book released today. And like in his last book, Donald didn't sue him over, even though he said he would, Wolff is able to get people to talk openly about Trump and his wicked, wicked ways. And who would know more about that than Jeffrey Epstein, a man Trump once called a terrific guy. Well, he likes the ladies, especially the younger ones. Anyway, let's take a listen as Epstein's words echo with new vibrancy and a knowing insider's wink about the man who would be king, This is from the Fire and Fury podcast from last October, but it's relevant today because journalist Michael Wolff reveals audio recordings in which the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, at that time, claims to have insider knowledge about the inner workings of Trump's first term in the White House. As a precursor to what's released today, let's lend an ear.
I think we have a snippet from one of the conversations that I recorded with Epstein, and I think this was in a restaurant in 2017.
His people fight each other.
Right.
And then have outsiders. He sort of poisons the well outside. He will tell 10 people Bannon's a scumbag, and Priest is not doing a good job, and Kelly has a big mouth. And what do you think? Jamie Dimon says that you're a problem, and I shouldn't keep you. And I spoke to Carl Icahn, and Carl thinks I need a new spokesperson. So Kelly, even though I hired Kellyanne's husband, Kellyanne is just too much of a wild card. And then he tells Bannon, I really want to keep you, but Kellyanne hates you.
I have more than dozens. I probably have 100 hours of Epstein talking about the inner workings of the Trump White House and about his long-standing, deep relationship with Donald Trump.
It's an old saying, you can judge a man by the company he keeps. Well, you can also judge him by his intentions. And as Michael Wolff writes in All or Nothing, being released today, that book about Donald J. Trump, what excites Trump the most is not the fire, but the clanging fire engines and sirens rushing to the scene. Well, if true, the implications of that are a glimpse into our future informed by a man seemingly absent of a moral compass and devoid of any noble attributes. So, read it and weep, America.